So how would you describe the action in this kind of game?
They have a particular style. They play physical. They try to get into you from the jump. I know that part of the scouting report was I think they fouled the most in the league. And you knew it was going to be kind of a slog fest, especially coming off the road trip. Very tough game. We had to find the energy. We started off well, gave ourselves a chance to fire. Alarm was weird. And then after that, you just grind it out, found a way to get it done on the stretch. Draymond's three was huge. Defensive stops. Keith Santos coming in, changing the game. So it was just grinded out game.
Where you guys are going right now as you approach the playoffs, is this kind of opponent, this kind of game, kind of good for the soul to get through something like this against a team like this?
Yeah, every win we've had has had a little different kind of style or character to it, and this is a good team wins this type of game. So you're trying to build off of that, the identity we're creating, and just find a way to put yourself in position to win and win ugly. And when shots aren't falling, game's a little choppy, you just stick with it, and good teams win these type of games.
Steph, you reached another milestone in your career. Congratulations. What did that feel like, especially in front of the whole crowd?
It was a surprise, actually. I knew I was coming up on it, but I didn't think about it until I heard it in game. And I know there's a list. Somebody told me after Tim Roy told me after the game, only 10 guys, I think, or now 10 guys have done it with one franchise, so that's pretty special. And the names that are on that list are synonymous with basketball history, so that's pretty cool.
Steph, you brought up how Guy came in and brought the game. How does he change the game? How does he make the game easier for you?
He changed the game with his energy. Like, there's never a time where he's on the floor you won't notice him, sticking his nose in a play or flying around. Often that offensive rebound and one he had was huge. So the controllables, he's the best at that. Can't control how many shots you make, can't control if the game's going to come to you or not, but you can control your energy and your effort and your will. And that's how he's cracked his way into the rotation. That's why Coach trusts him out there. And whether he plays 5 minutes, 24 minutes, he's going to play the exact same way.
Where have you maybe seen his game grow? Because he's always had the energy, but it seems like now adding points, rebounds, everything. And who does he maybe remind you of a past teammate possibly?
Got a little Juan T in him, I think. Yeah, Juan Toscano Anderson. But just a guy that his growth is, you're not going to open shots if they're going to leave you open. You control that energy. Try not to foul. It doesn't matter if you're going to have a couple. You're going to have a couple, but just the ones where you're not reading the play right. He seems very comfortable out there the more reps he gets. And you can see the passion, too, how much it mattered. That and one, his reaction was everything. He's in the game. You're going to feel his presence.
You played with.
Man, you're going to feel his presence. And that's going to be really important in the West because the West is big. When you think about some of these teams and the way that they're dominating games, particularly Jokic, when you think about Denver Nuggets, when you think about the Houston Rockets, Alperen Sengun, who had a night himself tonight. I mean, the ways in which a lot of these teams score is by playing that inside-out game. And the Warriors have struggled with that this season. But, of course, the addition of a stretch big and Quentin Post helps. The addition of a Jimmy Butler inside helps. But they were outscored big time in the paint. Overall, 56 for Detroit, only 36 for Golden State. Natalie, this is going to be something that they have to address. What are ways in which the Warriors can find success in the paint?
Well, they're going to have to rely on Jimmy Butler and Draymond a lot, I think, in the postseason. Both are very smart defenders. I mean, obviously, you want to limit how much Dre is playing at the 5, and so you're going to see some of their other bigs. But as you go deeper into the postseason, I'm not expecting the Warriors to pick up another big.
Sure, right.
So unless they do, if there's something I'm missing, then they're going to have to rely on those two. But to get through this season, they're going to have to try to, obviously limit Dre's minutes at the 5, and they're going to have to shoot well, right? That's how they combat that. And tonight was a night where the 3 ball wasn't falling for them. So that really hurt them. But they're going to just have to try to play really smart basketball, high IQ basketball. There's not much you can do, right? Like, people aren't going to grow. It also depends on what kind of bigs some of these teams have. Are they more mobile bigs? So it depends. So they're just going to have to work through it, find ways to grind out these wins like they did tonight. But, I mean, there's not that many options. But having Jimmy Butler and Draymond Green together, who are such high IQ players, you can put them on bigs. And I'm not saying that they're going to win that matchup, but they will make it tough on those players. They have really high IQs.
And that's true. You're going to have to make things tough on players, and particularly dissuade them from coming into the paint. That's number one. Jimmy Butler can help with that. Draymond can help with that. However, there's also the factor of being able to score. Bucket for bucket inside. And Jimmy Butler and Draymond Green can help with that. Jimmy Butler in the mid-post operating as not only a distributor, but also a scorer himself. Now, let's talk about the IQ around fouls. There were 56 fouls between both of these teams today. And you heard Steph Curry say before this game, their coaching staff told them this is going to be a bully ball game. This is going to be a game in which they're going to foul on every play. But that doesn't mean that the Golden State Warriors have to match that. It was a foul fest out there. I mean, every single thing was going, in the way of a whistle. I don't know in which how to change that for the Detroit Pistons. That's not the focus point. The focal point is the Golden State Warriors. When they're trying to play physical and match that physicality, how can they kind of stop the amount of whistles they're getting on the other end?
Well, look, it was also just probably one of those nights. Yeah. But also, some of this is because they're undersized, right?
Sure,
and so
right.
That's why there's just so many fouls, because they can't.
First, because he's with Natalie Esquire.
15 points off the bench from you tonight. How do you continue to find ways to make a positive impact on this team and to help contribute to winning?
I'm not even going to talk about the points, because I think there's games that I do a couple more points. But for me, especially, I think I got to bring the energy. I got to make the main players play the best basketball they can play. So I'm always looking for Steph on the court, always looking for Jimmy, always looking to get them open so they can do what they do every night. So be off the bench, and of course I feel good because I scored 15 points. But I think the biggest thing for me is the hustle, the putback, the tap, the N1 that I was calling the whole stadium, the whole fans with me, with the team. So I think that's what I got to bring to the team every night.
You're reading my mind, because I was going to ask about that. You made a hustle play. Moody had one near the end of the game. So many hustle plays from you guys to help contribute. Earlier in this season, this may have not been a game that you guys pulled out, but you did tonight. What does it say about the trajectory of this team?
So I think you can see right now how much better we are with Jimmy. Especially because when they holding Steph, falling Steph, and the referee is not calling, Jimmy goes there and show up and help us win the game. So I'm going to put that. Obviously, Draymond hit the biggest shot of the night. That was crazy. But Jimmy, he really changed the whole course of the season for us.
Was that on your bingo card, Draymond hitting that clutch shot?
Everybody cheering, everybody was like, boom, after he hit the three. So we trust him. He worked.
One last question. Just give me your thoughts on Steph hitting the 25K milestone tonight, and what does that mean?
It's a big time. I don't know how many players did that, but I know that it's not a lot, and he's a special player. He's just not a special player, but he's a special person. He's a very good guy. He's always trying to help everybody, and he deserves it. He deserves it, and I know that he's not done there. He's going to score 30, 35. The way that he's been playing, he's going to do it for sure.
Thank you, Geek. Congrats on the win.
Thank you.